Every day, historic buildings across America are being torn down, and what's inside can be lost or destroyed forever. But not if Mike and Robert get there first.
Bring it down just a little bit.
From an old farmhouse to an abandoned mill, together they restore, repurpose, or resell whatever salvage they can find.
Now, this is a no-fun zone.
They're saving pieces of history and America, one salvage job at a time.
The value just keeps going up.
They are the Salvage Dawgs.
Hey, Robert. What's going on, man? What? You got a robot? I think you're full of it.
Well, it's only
Did I hear robot?
robot.
Well,
I got a robot. We got it cheap because it was headed to the scrap.
I hope there's more to it than that. That's pretty sad, man.
There's a kid.
There's the brain.
Yeah.
So, it is a robot headlight tester.
You put this in front of the lens, or the beam, the sealed beam.
Right.
And then you work, all your angles?
I got a couple old cars where it just, one points up this way and the other one points
two
that way.
screws, two adjustments.
So that's part of an inspection is what
Yeah.
they used to do.
Pull it right in here, we'll fix
But
it
this
up.
has got the candle power, so it'd tell the intensity of the beam, which was pretty cool.
So all that being said, it's
thoroughly-
useful, but who cares? Look at it. That head on that thing screams 30s.
Yeah,
I
look
think.
at that.
Yeah, it looked like something from Buck Rogers. You can see that
They were
cigar kind
contemporaneous.
of going up through the stage like that with the little
The
smoke,
smoke coming out the
back.
back. I love that.
Anyway, I think we clean this up and we can get a decent amount of money.
You
for
think
it.
you clean it up?
That's the type of equipment that somebody who has a large car collection of antique cars, I mean, that's useful.
We'll call up Jay Leno.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
hear he's got 100 cars.
Jay, if you're watching, help us out.
We'll deliver it.
All right, guys.
What we got this week,
We
Rob?
got copious amounts of opportunities.
I don't like that.
Headed to Clifton Forge, Virginia, to Hillcrest. Bed and breakfast with a awesome
Good.
tub.
Look at that place, would you?
It's been renovated into a bed and breakfast. It's got a, for some reason, it's got this awesome fire clay tub in the basement. And also, in this crawl space, there's this huge window frame that clearly came from the house. This house has all these arches in it. But the folks want to, they want to kind of reuse it into something, maybe build a cabinet out of it or something. That's Mike's department. He can figure it out. But it's a good opportunity for us to go get something great, salvage that, and then also it's kind of like a paying trip.
Yeah.
Also, that robot, the headlight robot,
Yeah.
Mike and I talking this
I'm
morning.
still jazzed about that.
There's a guy in town, Mike Weddle, who's got 2 big truck graveyards. So we've lined that up, too, this week. We got an easy week. It's easy, isn't it?
Absolutely, Robert, if you
Yeah.
say so, buddy.
All right, guys. Like to do this week, but it shouldn't be too terrible. Let's get it done.
We're always looking for ways to reuse what we get and make interesting pieces of furniture out of it. And Tay came up with this great idea.
All right, so you know how I like vinyls. I got some turntables from Jake a while back, and I've been messing with them, so I thought I'd do a table around it.
Okay.
Basically a metal frame, 4 legs, angle iron, and then the top shelf will be a recess for this.
Okay,
You
so
need whatever LP you like,
Right.
or have a favorite, you
so
can
you,
set it
so
in
you
there.
can personalize it.
Right.
Everybody has old vinyl album covers. So I thought it was a brilliant idea. I'm so proud of you, son. I gave him the thumbs up on proceeding.
All right, so I pulled this 1.25 inch angle. This is going to serve as the legs for this table. I'm going to cut 4 identical pieces, and hopefully they will be identical. So far, so good. So this is a magnet, and it helps make right angles possible.
His mom's creative. I'm creative. You know, it runs in the family. So he's got a creative gene. I just haven't seen it pop out lately. Maybe this is the first of many.
This project we were working on is in Clifton Forge, Virginia. This house was probably built in 1905, 1910.
A really neat place, and these folks are turning it into a bed and breakfast, which is perfect for that old building.
All right, guys. There's a fire clay tub. It's in the basement for some reason. Typically, those things are a little bit dressier, so they're up top. So it's been moved before. That's made good or bad. You can sell cast iron 5-foot tub for $500 or $600, whereas this fire clay tub is a $2,500 tub. That's where you make your money. That's what you're looking for.
There's also an old window frame that is trapped in the basement that they want to convert into something for the house. They want to try to keep it and convert it into something else, but we have to get it out first for our brand.
I think the owners are curious to see what we can come up with because it has a story. So I'm thinking we could make a wine cabinet out of it or something. We'll find something fun to do with it. We'll throw some Black Dog on it.
So I think what the plan is Mike, you're going to take care of the tub.
Okay.
And then Tay and I will take care of the window frame.
I'm thinking Mike and myself will get ours done first, is what I think. I think
So it's kind of like the
clock's ticking right now.
Yeah, the clock's ticking. The gauntlet has been thrown.
No
Let's get to
competition.
work. 1, 2, 3, go!
What good is it if it's not a competition? Points to win, right? Right?
All right, Ted, we've been delegated to the big boy. It's an earthenware tub, which is a fired clay tub with a glazing on it, and they're real heavy. It's a big tub. I mean, it's over 6 feet.
Yeah, you're gonna need an extra large water heater to get yourself a hot bath in that thing.
That's right. We're not gonna be able to get it through this door, all right? So what we'll do is, they've said we could take this wall out.
Okay.
All right, we gave y'all a handicap, so we're gonna get started.
You guys
now.
finished yet? Are you finished yet?
Who wants to lose? Hey, I like to win too. I'm glad I looked at that. I didn't cut into the very fine earthenware tub.
If you're not sore after losing, what the hell?
Yeah, why compete?
That's right.
What are you doing out there?
Okay, we're gonna need to take the arch off. We've measured it. There's no way I can get it out through the doorway. A lot of nails.
Damn right there's a lot of nails.
We had a surgical operation. We could have easily killed that window frame.
First I was gonna try and pry it off. Now I'm gonna get a sawzall and I'm gonna cut the nails.
We had to take it apart in a smart enough way they could easily be put back together.
No reason to wait.
We are racing them,
Yeah,
after all.
this is a contest. Hey, Mike.
Hey, man,
Look what you're doing there.
there's a new door. All right, now that we got this tub on a dolly and the wall out, we're just gonna roll it right on out, put the ramps in place, and out she goes. That's my plan de jour. The only thing I gotta make sure is I don't break it. That's all. Other than that, it's get it out.
Watch your head. Yeah.
Ow!
Progress coming through, guys.
Watch out, guys. You didn't destroy it, did you, Robert?
Robert, you save your back, man.
You got it all, buddy?
Yep.
Love it. Oh, is that you, Mike?
Excuse me.
That's it. You guys are in trouble.
The competition's not over until the goods are in the truck. Mike was right behind me with the tub. And then all of a sudden I hear this horrendous noise. Mike was right behind me with the tub. And then all of a sudden I hear this horrendous noise.
We got
I was on the other end of the tub, so I didn't know if we had chipped the back. Because if you drop this tub, it's going to crack in half.
everything based out. We got dolly failure.
But it wasn't broken. Turns out the cart was broken.
Our dolly fell apart.
That was a salvage doll, is what that was.
All right, we got it from here, boys.
Yeah.
Y'all take it. I was so fortunate to have Robert on staff at that time.
And then if you can collect our tools downstairs when you're
Sure,
finished.
no problem.
You beat us. Hands down, you beat us, but we weren't far behind.
When the other team has to come back and help the other team get their car in the barn.
You don't get any extra points for that. The international judge says no.
Nothing worse than a sore loser. That's all I got to say on that.
You'd know. We're always looking for local picks and salvage, and I've got kind of a heads up that there's an old truck salvage yard in Roanoke. All right.
Daggone, look at this place.
Hey,
How you doing?
Good. Mike Whiteside.
Mike Well.
Mike, pleasure to see you.
Nice to meet you.
This guy specialized in old trucks and commercial vehicles.
What you see, Sally? Find any salvage back there?
I see stuff immediately. My eyes are going to the candy.
Start.
Ew. Watch your step there, Mike.
That sure didn't take long, did it? You know, I always have trouble standing on my feet. It seems to be getting worse and worse as I get older. Damn, I'm not doing so good here. Dude, I'm looking at the gold, you know, like the baubles. I gotta
That
see
is the
that.
perfect analogy of the way Mike goes about things, is jumping on that thing. It's like, because he's looking at the gold.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with that?
I don't know, whatever I do. I
There's
just,
one
I just
over
like
there,
the look.
Yeah.
There's a few others.
There's another one over there. That's even better. I see a light.
Sconce,
see
big,
it?
big wall sconce. Whether it's a cover off of a exhaust or it's the front of a truck grill,
An awning. It's an awning.
a seat, back of a seat, or the whole front end of a truck. That's truck front?
Yep.
That's just like the one we had over at Jack Brown's? I mean, that's what I'm looking for. What would you sell that piece for?
$300.
$300, just like the other one.
What do you do with something like this? I mean, if the plan is waiting for somebody to buy the whole thing to do.
Someone like us
Something?
to come by.
Somebody crazier than I am to come along and buy it.
Let's face it, this stuff has been discarded. So I really don't know what I'm looking for when I come into these places. But you got to have something that'll fire your imagination.
Tell me a little bit about this, Mike.
It was a Ford, had 9,000 original miles.
That's awesome.
It was in perfect shape.
Isn't that it right there?
Oh, that's right there. Oh, just dented it.
You did it, you bought it.
Is it insured? What I'm thinking is you leave the front as it is, you take the window out, you take the doors off, and you put a bar right on front here on top. Could be a cool kid's bed, you know, where they can sleep in the cab of a fire truck. I mean, it's got really cool presents. That's a cool piece. Let's see what else you got in the yard. Oh man, look at this.
Pretty.
Harvester.
What we got here?
Come from Roanoke here original.
That's an Orin.
Probably was built right over here in
Look at
Virginia.
here, Orin Roanoke Corporation, Roanoke, Virginia,
They got a year.
1961.
I used to hang out at a fire station in Roanoke, and it had a candy shop, and it had Coke machines, and it also had a big field that we could play football at. And I could swear an engine just like that was one of the engines in that firehouse.
You know, we're all channeling our inner kid.
I always like fire trucks.
This is a piece of local history, and that's the charm of this one.
What does something like this go for? This piece worth $2,000.
Okay.
It's hard to say no. It was a fire truck, for God's sake. I mean, it was cool.
While we're out here at this pick, Grayson's back at the shop finishing up Tay's in-table project.
Hey, Lonnie.
Hey, Kristen.
Can you help me with a project real quickly?
Possibly.
Get started at least. All right, so I'm building an end table. Tay's already built this for me, and I need to find some wood to put here and here.
This looks like maybe a walnut or maybe even a maple.
That's really pretty. Let's use that. All right, start me up, Lonnie. Making sure everything's lined up okay. What I love about this project is it can be unique to your own style, you know, any album that you love. It's interchangeable. I'm almost done. Feeling good.
We were walking up the yard and looking at all the junk, and I asked Mike, where did he keep all of his cool stuff? And he said, it's in this metal building.
Oh,
Is this the Holy Grail right here?
this is the stuff, yeah.
A lot of cool stainless hardware. Got some spotlights.
There's quite a bit of stuff here.
What do you take this for, Mike?
100.5.
Robert?
Yeah,
100.5?
yeah.
All right. And you got a PBR sign.
How about PBR?
$100.
Buy it.
I think Mike lost his mind on the PBR sign.
Can we get a look at it? I mean,
Yeah, let's move those radiators.
before you start shaking your head.
That was a good buy. What do you want for that thing?
Well,
$100,
what's
$75?
the point? It's the way you went about it.
Original, popular price.
Put a price.
All right, go ahead and cut this out. That's a keeper right there. It's always a negotiating process, and Mike was real fair. He knows his inventory, and I respect that. What you got to get for the Dr. Pepper cooler?
That's $600.
$600. But $475 on that thing.
5.5.
I was giving him the 5, like Robert. 500. This is Robert's thing. He likes the cooler stuff.
515.
Fair enough.
That's good.
I'm thinking 1900 for the fire truck,
I can live with that.
and I'm thinking maybe 800 for the cab.
That's reasonable.
Is that reasonable? Okay. We whittled it down.
really do appreciate
It was
it.
awesome.
It's
Man.
a good
It was a lot
stuff.
of fun. Mike was a lot of fun to deal with. He was fair. He knew what he had and what he wanted for it, and was willing to dicker a little bit with us. So
I have a feeling he felt like he came out okay.
I think he did. Yeah.
I think everybody did.
Yeah.
Like a surgeon.
It's different from what I think they normally do. You know, coming in, seeing some truck things and some fire truck stuff. They'll try some different avenues for some creativity. So.
All right, Tay.
All right, G.
Moment of truth.
Yeah, I left you with the pile of parts. Let's see how it came out.
I really hope it fits.
Well, first, it looks great. The clear coat and the painted
Thank
black.
you. Let's see. Moment
Look
of
at that.
truth.
That's awesome.
Perfect.
It fits.
Heck yeah.
The great thing about this album table is that it's interchangeable, it's repeatable. That's a good idea. That's something that we can sell, and we can sell over and over again. And that I like.
That's awesome. Good job.
Thanks, Tay.
All right. Moving on to the
Let's
next
get started
one.
on the next one.
That's right.
It's here! Yeah, well, it kind of hit me as it was being towed into our parking lot that I had a possible red albatross. Now that we got it, what are we going to do with it? I mean, come on.
First off, we need to find somebody that knows something about this.
Yes?
So I called my brother-in-law, Rob.
Hey.
There he
Rob!
is.
Jacob, how you doing, man? He's a fireman, volunteer fireman for 20, 30 years, and just, he's a nut when it comes to fire trucks.
It's a 61 Warren. This truck was one that was stationed at the airport.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
And what kind of truck is it, Rob? Is it a pump
This
truck?
is the
Or?
engine. Yeah, it's an engine, which is basically a pumper. And you know, I love Warrens because I have 2 of them.
Do you really?
And, yes, I
need
do.
3?
They're my favorite.
That brings me right to the next.
You need
You know,
3?
I wasn't thinking that you were a buyer, but you may know somebody that's a buyer.
Well,
When Rob showed interest, I basically was going to turn it over for a very minimal profit, just to get it going.
tell you what,
Tell me what you can do with it.
put $1,000 back.
$1,000. There's $2,000 in scrap in this thing.
Oh, come on, man.
Don't kill me, Rob.
$2,000 and an old Jeep. Don't you have one of those old mail
Yeah.
carrier Jeeps?
I do.
All right.
I've got a couple of them.
All right. When it runs.
do it.
2,000.
2,000.
Robert, we got a Jeep.
Big Rob came in as an expert and left as my hero.
Dodge another bullet on that one.
That's
didn't we?
right. That's right.
Good weed because it was all local, which is always a winner for us. Pretty good product came out of the basement with Tay and Grayson. Yeah,
Productive
real
and
productive.
possibly profitable.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Promises and promises.
You can't catch the check yet, but it's coming.